All right, what else? What do you think is interesting in the story?
Please don't pick me. Please don't pick me. Please don't pick
Uh,
me. Please don't
Adam.
pick me.
His wife?
What?
Could you say the question again?
What do you think about the ending?
Oh, it was good. It was interesting.
Oh, what did you like about it?
It was unexpected.
Okay.
What did I just say?
End of the story is what most people find.
Anxiety can hinder our ability to stay present and maintain our focus. Instead, our minds might wander off and sometimes be worrying about things that probably don't deserve that much attention. This phenomenon has become ubiquitous in modern life, and that fact can be certainly extended to English as a second language classrooms. Anxiety might negatively affect an essential part of language learning, our memory. Traditionally, memory was divided into three different layers: sensory memory, working memory, and long term memory, being known as the Atkinson-Shiffrin memory model, which proposes that information can be transferred between each of these layers. Sensory memory, the first layer, is capable of registering information from each of our senses with reasonable accuracy. In this model, information is retained in sensory memory for 2 seconds or less, then most of it is immediately forgotten. However, part of it is transferred to what is known as working memory, also known as short-term memory. The information stored in this layer is fragile, although not as fragile as information stored in sensory memory. And finally, the content that has been used repeatedly is transferred from work memory to what is known as long-term memory, which has a much larger capacity than the other two. According to Atkinson and Shiffrin, information stored in long-term memory is relatively permanent. More recent memory models seem to have left out the sensory memory layer, but the distinction between working memory and long-term memory appears to have remained a consensus. For instance, a 2022 study by Radvinsky et al. Has proposed a memory phases framework, which include working memory during the first minute of retention, early long-term memory during the 12 hours following encoding, a period of transitional long-term memory during the following week or so, and long-lasting memory beyond this. The goal of this video essay is to explore the construct of anxiety and its effects on working memory in the context of second language acquisition. And the research question we're trying to explore is the following. To what extent does anxiety negatively affect working memory in the context of second language acquisition? Working memory is a term originally derived from psychology, which refers to the ability to store, maintain, and process information in ongoing cognitive tasks. According to Moran, it is generally described as a system that retains access to a limited amount of information in the service of more complex cognitive operations. There has been a steady growth in the interest of better understanding the mediating role that working memory plays in second language acquisition. Now, let's take a brief look at the construct of anxiety. Anxiety can be understood through at least two distinct dimensions: worry and arousal. Worry can be understood as a verbal rumination about negative things that might happen in the future, and is usually associated with generalized anxiety disorder. While arousal refers to physiological and somatic symptoms, such as dizziness, high heart rate, sweaty palms, and hypervigilance, being usually related to stressful moments. Most theories point at the relationship between working memory capacity and anxiety can be attributed to an interference or competition between anxiety-related processes and task-related processes. And according to several theories, worry acts as a type of dual task that interferes with cognitive task performance. Sarasan proposed that anxiety could be understood by task-irrelevant thoughts and proneness to self-preoccupation. These thoughts were assumed to reduce the attention that could be used in task performance. So essentially, anxiety might be using cognitive power that could be allocated to working memory. Within second language acquisition, we can use the term foreign language anxiety, or FLA. Three constituents of FLA are test anxiety, fear of negative evaluation, and communication apprehension. So the study by Namazi and Dost et al. Have demonstrated that FLA has a negative relationship with working memory. The purpose of this study was to investigate the relationship between 60 Iranian EFL learners' working memory and anxiety with their listening comprehension. Results have shown a high correlation between FLA and working memory spans, demonstrating that working memory is a pervasive mental resource that speakers of different languages will rely on. A 2018 study by Saito et al. Investigated the impacts of emotional states in second language acquisition. In this study, 108 high school students in English as a foreign language classrooms were studied cross-sectionally and longitudinally. The researchers looked into the learners' different emotional aspects and motivational dispositions. Results pointed to a direct impact of positive emotions in acquisition. The evidence pointing to a negative relationship between anxiety and working memory capacity seems abundant. And many studies seem to point to the important role that the emotional dimension plays during second language acquisition. So, a question remains: what can be done to mitigate foreign language anxiety in language classrooms? Well, in a 2020 study by Ahmatovich et al., which has investigated the role of motivation and anxiety in predicting success in second language attainment, the authors suggested multiple actions that could be taken in order to reduce foreign language anxiety during language classrooms. Some of these include authenticity of the learning materials, helping students to deploy relaxation techniques, creating a supportive learning classroom community where cooperative learning is provided, encouraging learners to express their opinions and perspectives on different issues, making them feel safe and protected from embarrassment and sarcasm, helping them to build their self-confidence, and finally, helping students to set their learning goals. Alright, that's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.